right, perfect. I'm so sorry. I don't know what in the world just happened, but I lost it, and then I lost my information I was going to give you. But let me just tell you this: if you will go on to YouTube and look for Third Temple, there are plenty of videos, but this specific one was a lady who actually is working with some of the individuals who are putting it together. And thank you, Sister Janice. Hey, everybody, glad to see you back. I went somewhere. But this particular video is a lady who is, and it's on a it's a CBN video, but it's a lady she works with the people who are planning this temple. And there are different groups in Israel who have different plans, because if you've been watching the news, there's the place where the Muslims have their Dome of the Rock, which is not a mosque. It is the I can shoot you the link in a little bit here. I'll shoot it to everybody. But Dome of the Rock is the place where you see that golden dome on the Temple Mount there, and that's not it's not a mosque. It is there's a rock in there, which that rock is holy to the Jews and to the Muslims, and it's believed by the Jews that is the place where God began creation out of the whole earth. It's the place where they believe He created Adam at. It's the place they believe where Abraham went to offer Isaac up as a sacrifice. So it's a very special place. But that's one of the spots. But there's two spots. There's another spot that they believe could be the place where the temple was originally built. And the thing they're worried about the most is the Holy of Holies. That's why when the Jews go on the Temple Mount, they're not allowed to pray and even go to certain spots, because they are worried about them desecrating what may have been the place where the Holy of Holies is. So go on, and I can shoot this link out later, but go on to YouTube, punch in CBN, Christian Broadcast Network, and look up the third temple being rebuilt. Okay, I'm not even going to try to go to my PowerPoint I've got here. I have a PowerPoint, and I'm just going to read you this. On August the 19th of 2019, in an Israeli newspaper, and I had it all online there. Here's what the headlines read. Netanyahu, I think most of us are familiar with him, the leader of Israel, had said he was going to make a pro-third temple politician a top official. In other words, this is an individual who is pro-third temple. He wants a third temple. And when you look, this guy's name is Moshe Feiglin Zihat. Don't ask me. Just look it up. When you look him up, you will see him, and he has several articles on rebuilding that third temple. The plans are there. As I said a couple weeks ago, everything's in motion. That third temple has to be here. And the reason I'm reading you these things in the news is just to let you know how close we are, that the shadows of the tribulation period are upon us right now. And then from the Express UK newspaper on April the 24th, 2020. Okay, this was just a month ago, not even that, just a few weeks ago. According to Professor Tom Myers, a college professor who has memorized 20 books from the Bible, a council of Jewish rabbis known as the Sanhedrin. The Sanhedrin's back in motion again. Some of y'all may not know that, but he says they could intentionally set the stage for Jesus's return. He said, biblically speaking, a third Jewish temple is a necessity because biblical prophecy states that the Antichrist will proclaim himself to be the true Christ in the yet-to-be-built third Jewish temple. He goes on to say, considering this, perhaps the rebirth of the Sanhedrin, with its desire to reinstitute animal sacrifices and to build the third Jewish temple, is unintentionally paving the way for the fulfillment of the biblical prophecy of the second coming of Jesus Christ, the true Jewish Messiah. So this guy's a believer in God and in Jesus Christ as the Messiah, but he is in the middle of all that. And both these individuals that I've mentioned to you so far, a matter of fact, all three of them are in the middle of this, what's going on with this third temple. And he is saying they don't even know it. They don't even know it, but building that third temple and bringing the Sanhedrin back into existence and building that third temple, it all has to be done in order for Jesus to be coming back. It's got to be here. It has to be in motion. And so, and I'm talking about the second coming of Jesus Christ, remember, not the rapture, but that great day of the Lord when he comes back with 10,000s of his saints to bring judgment upon this world. So those things are in the news. Now I'm going to go to something concerning the world currency, okay? And Revelation 13, when it stated, the scriptures that I read a while ago, when it stated that you have the Antichrist, the first beast, you have the false prophet, the second beast, you have Satan, who is the one who is empowering both of them, and they don't want just people to worship them, but now they're going to affect the world economically. Isn't that what's going on now? Do you see how easy it is for somebody, whatever happened there, to release a virus and the whole world go on shutdown almost overnight, and the economies come to their knees almost overnight? You see how easy that is to cripple this world by its money? And when the Antichrist says, listen, we're going to give everybody this mark, and I don't know what the mark is. I know there are chips out there, but I also know they're experimenting. As a matter of fact, the Bill Gates Foundation is experimenting with this, and this is not a theory, conspiracy theory. I read his own words on this. But along with a vaccine, there's this thing they can put into the skin, and it's basically like little fibers, and it forms. And by those little fibers in your skin, they can tell whether or not you've had a vaccine around this world. I think I've got something on that here in just a minute. But this thing is all about money, folks. They not only want you to worship them, but now they want you to serve them, and they're going to make you do it by your money. They're going to make people do it by their money. They're going to put this system, this worldwide currency system into motion. It's going to be digital. It's going to be a one world economy, world system, world money, and it's going to be digital. And if you didn't see this, you gotta see this. You're going to see it right now. We've had 2 stimulus packages that have come out, and they're working on a third one now. I'm talking about in America here with our Congress, and they're working on a third one now. And I think they've already got the details to it. Well, that first one back in March. Some of you caught it. And I may have mentioned it in a message. But did you notice that Nancy Pelosi and several others that that lean left real hard, what they tried to do with the stimulus money, they wanted to send it out with a new kind of money that's not physical. It's all digital. They wanted to first of all send out a digital money that is connected to a digital wallet, and the federal banks would keep the digital wallet that has your digital money in it. Why would they do that? There's some good reasons behind it. A lot of folks they don't have bank accounts, and they wanted to send the stimulus money out and get it to people like right away, and to where they wouldn't have to worry about getting that check in the mail and then going and cashing it, and they don't have accounts, and they end up spending that thing, or whatever their reasoning was. But this would be the simplest way to get it to everybody, even the person who was homeless, who has absolutely nothing. If they have a digital wallet, all they have to do is go into a library and sign into their digital wallet. They've got their money right there. Go into a market or whatever, and through their digital wallet, they can buy whatever they want to buy. They tried to pass this with the first stimulus. And then in April, I didn't find this out to today, they brought it back up again and tried to pass it again. This is through the cryptocurrency. If you've been reading about the Bitcoin and all that, and blockchains and all that stuff, that's the system that they're wanting to use. And the whole world is mixed up in that system. And so that's how again, this is the shadows. What time is it? This is the shadows coming in fast, really fast. Now, let's see. And that, by the way, was in a Forbes, with a Forbes, Forbes. So most of y'all are probably familiar with Forbes, but you can look it up on there. And the title of it, Congress Flirts with Digital Dollar. March and April, they tried to do this. March and April. Okay, now, worldwide digital ID. You need to look up ID, the 2 letters, ID 2020. Okay, ID 2020. You need to look that up. You need to study these folks. Again, I've got it on here, but I don't want to lose you again because I did something wrong a while ago, and it was not good, whatever I did wrong. But you need to look that up now. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. If I lose you again, I love you, okay? I'm going to try to share right now. Let's go. Let's go, because I don't want to miss this. I.D. 2020. Here we go. Y'all wish me a good prayer. I.D. 2020. Here it is right here. And share. I hope you got it. You should be there with me. Okay, this is I.D. 2020, biometricupdate.com. All right. This is an article on I.D. 2020 from these folks, but I want to read something. Look at this third paragraph down. It says digital identity is a computerized record of who a person is, stored in a registry. It is used, in this case, to keep track of who has received vaccination. Okay. Now you see what it says there. It's in black and white. Okay. Now this was from September of 2019 when this article was written. Digital identity, computerized record of a person stored in a registry, used in this case to keep track of who has received vaccination. So it's all about vaccinations, right? Well, let me tell you something. Look at down here what it come back and did. This month on March or last month, March 26, 2020. This post was updated at 4:58 p.m. on March 26, 2020 to clarify that the program is intended to allow people to receive vaccination and prove they have received it, not to track individuals as claimed by some conspiracy theorist. You get that? They got caught with that little paragraph they put in there. They didn't take the paragraph out. They just come down and try to clarify. But this is all about keeping track of people. It's a digital ID. It's a digital ID. Now I want to show you one more thing. All right, let's go over here to I.D. 2020. This is what you need to check out here. Okay, I.D. 2020. Our approach. Why now? Why it's important? We need to get digital ID right. Since 2016, I.D. 2020 has advocated for ethical, privacy-protecting approaches to digital ID. For the 1 in 7 people, they make it sound so good and that it's needed, right? For the 1 in 7 people globally who lack some means to prove their identity, digital ID offers access to vital social services and enables them to exercise their rights as citizens and voters and participate in the modern economy. And you can read all the rest of it down there, and I'm going to come back to you and hope you're still here with me. Stop screen sharing. Did you get that? Did you see that? Now, again, conspiracy theorists, no. But show me something like that, it's not a conspiracy anymore. This is what's going on behind the scenes. This is truth. This is what's happening. This is where we're at. These are the shadows. These are the shadows of the tribulation period. But we're getting more than just shadows, folks. We are getting solid flesh and blood, machinery, programs that are set up, computer programs, that the whole thing is being biometric. The whole thing's being set up right now while we're talking about it. It's already being set up. What are they waiting on? They're just waiting on the individual behind the scenes who can get out in front of the people and make everybody believe that this is what we need to do. The church, I got to close here. I know it's 6:49. I'm gonna say something to you, and I want you to hear my heart when I say this. You've heard me say I'm not a conspiracy theorist. No. And for me personally, I don't believe that we have that our rights have been taken from us. We had to do some lockdowns. We had to do some things, and we could still worship. And I hope and pray that these several weeks that we've been out of the building, that the church has figured it out. The building is not the church. Yes, we want a fellowship. Yes, it's biblical to fellowship. Forsake not the gathering together of the saints, even so much more as you see that day approaching. Yes, we're supposed to fellowship. There is strength in fellowship. But we had as much freedom, more freedom than anybody in the world still. But now when they start doing like some states are doing, and was it Illinois? I forget which state it was, but the governor has told them until we have a vaccine, you're not having a church service with more than 10 people in it. Now, that's a problem. That's an issue. because now, if they're letting other stores open as they are and do what they're doing, but the churches can't open, now we're talking about in that state, our governor has done, in my opinion, he's done pretty good in trying his best to keep us away from violating our amendments, and specifically our First Amendment. And but listen, when it comes time we got to march in the streets because our freedoms are getting trampled, I'll be at the front of the line with you. We got to keep an eye on this. It's not about our freedoms. It's not about this world. It's not about the government shutting us down. This thing's about our Lord and Savior getting ready to come. Jesus Christ, he's coming. All these things point to his coming. There is no denying what is happening. And one more question before I get ready to sign off here. Hey, Miss Heidi, one more question. What's the greatest sign of our generation? What's the greatest sign of our generation? Somebody type it out on there. And I'll give you a little bit of time here. And while you're typing in, here's that book I was talking about last week. It's an old book, Execution of Six Men by Reverend Earl P. Polk. This was Granddaddy Polk. This seemed to be a good man here. This book is about when he was invited to be there with the execution of these six fellas. 5 of them had given their heart to the Lord, and one of them was just a rascal. Israel, Mom, that's right. Israel, Libby. Israel's the greatest sign of our generation. All these other signs, they're just icing on the cake, man. But Israel, that's the meat of it right there. Keep your eyes on Israel. And we're getting ready to go home, people. I'm not talking about my house. We're getting ready to go home. And I apologize for the glitch tonight. Somebody's going to tell me what I did. And so, but I love you, Fair Forest Church of God. And I know that, I know Stacy's getting ready to get on here, and he's got a great lesson that's coming. But I love you, and better late than never, Heidi. Israel's the fig tree. Israel, the one that started branching out again. So these things are in the news. You need to be looking at it and write it down, put it in your phone, whatever. When you see these things in the news, on a newspaper, when you're online, whatever, write those things down. Write them down and understand that all of this is being put into place now. In my daddy's days, it wasn't happening. Israel was here. The greatest sign of all was here. But all these other things, man, he would be absolutely having an exciting fit right now with everything going on and preaching about these things. But I love you, Fair Forest, and I'm going to sign off so my brother can get on here. And you guys have a great rest of the week in the name of Jesus. And I look forward to seeing you Sunday morning, 11 o'clock worship service. God bless. Bye-bye.